What's up, people? Nature Girl 30 here, and honestly, guys, I really never expected this Raw to turn out the way it did. Now, in the beginning, I mean, it's in Manchester, England. It's went back to the jolly old UK, and honestly, I really did expect to see a lot more people from that represent their homeland here. I mean, we got Layla, we have Paige, we also have Wade Barrett, and I guess according to the WrestleZone website that I actually did look it up, they said that Wade Barrett was supposed to make his debut or was supposed to make his return back to Raw this evening. But honestly, unless it was a dark match, maybe it was. He wasn't on live tonight, and that's kind of messed up. I don't know why the WWE does this. When you go to another country to promote your product, don't you want to have people that represent that country to represent you? I don't know. That's just me. If you want to quarter that market, you kind of want to have more people that represent the country that you're actually wrestling in or performing in. That's just me. But anyway, moving on from there. Now, honestly, of course, you have Randy Orton coming out declaring, as usual, that he's in charge of all time. And then it's just a big cluster of mess when you have three people who believe they're in authority coming out there. Here's my question. Why is Vicky there? Why is Vicky there every night? She has her own show. She's on SmackDown. She needs to manage SmackDown. She does not need to be on Raw to dictate anything because, number one, it undermines Brad Maddox and make him look like a complete waste of space. And then you have Kane in there when we absolutely have no idea what Kane's supposed to do. And it's making Brad Maddox look like even more of a waste of space. Now, Brad Maddox isn't that bad as a GM. He's a lot better than the past GMs. So I really kind of like Brad Maddox, but making him have two people that he has to fight over with power just makes him seem like just kind of undermining his authority and making him like a complete weak punk. And that's something I don't really like about that at all. And honestly, I still feel that Vicky Guerrero should not be there at all, and I really don't know why she's there in the first place. But seeing how Stephanie and Triple H are on their vacation, I'm wondering if they even care what's going on in the show. But that's just part of the storyline. But anyway, moving on from there. The matches themselves I didn't particularly care much about except for a few. I cared about I mean, it's pretty much handicap night. That's all it was handicap night. And I think it was a great idea. You had the Real Americans versus John Cena, and then you had CM Punk and Daniel Bryan versus The Shield. Now, I'm going to get to the ending later on, but oh my gosh, which is a great ending. Now, what really makes me sad is that the Divas are really trying their hardest to hype up the people from other countries, especially in the UK. But let's face it, we're seeing the Bellas every single night. I know they have more than one chick on the roster. I'm tired of seeing Natalya, and I'm tired of seeing the Bella Twins. They're great wrestlers. Don't get me wrong. I'm very happy for them with the successful show they had with Total Divas, and I think they're great wrestlers. But for crying out loud, you have an entire Divas division. Let them have a chance to shine, except for on the dark matches. Give them something to do instead of making them a waste of space. And I hate to sound that way, but you're not doing anything with your division. Not only that, the Funkadactyls are supposed to be on the show because they're promoting Total Divas. Not only that, you haven't really seen Eva Marie or JoJo at all this week. And I would love to actually see Layla perform because Layla is from the UK. And I love Layla. I'm waiting for Paige to make her debut. Good grief, is she good? But honestly, they're not utilizing their divas enough. They're either making them valets, girlfriends, and that's it. But you didn't really see much of them tonight, and it kind of bothered me. You just saw the Bella Twins, and no beef with the Bellas, but I'm just tired of seeing them on my screen every night. And as for Tamina, like I said before in my last review, I really do feel they need to start breaking her apart, or start separating her from AJ Lee, because her being the bodyguard is going to shadow AJ Lee, and it's going to kind of drown her out. And they need to do something with trying to separate them early. And that's how I personally feel about it, especially the fact that she's the champ. And I'm getting sick and tired of the whole Lolita thing. She really does need to come up with a better idea for her character. I mean, she has no dude to date, so the whole Lolita thing is kind of out of date. No pun in if that. I don't even think that's a pun. But regardless of that, it's outdated. It needs to be. She needs to upgrade her character. That's just how I feel about it. The whole Lolita thing will work if she had a man on her arm, but she doesn't. So She's not a man eater anymore. She's now a champ. So she needs to start acting like one and try to separate herself from the bodyguard. But that's just me. Me nitpicking as usual. But let me move on from there. One of my favorite matches of the night have to be the first match that happened in the opener, and that was Gold Rose or Cody Goldie, or where I'm trying to put the names together, but Cody Rhodes and Goldust versus Randy Orton. Honestly, as much as Randy Orton is nice to look at, I agree with the crowd. He's boring. He's straight up boring. I'm not gonna lie. There's nothing interesting about Randy Orton anymore. And you would think that him being in the ring with his protege would definitely step him up a notch. But it didn't. It just kept him at a stagnant pace, which made everybody bored and started chanting random chants for anybody. And honestly, I'm going to say this. Manchester's crowd was awesome. It really was. They had their moments of when they were bored, but good grief, were they crunk at the end. And that's what you're supposed to have it. And when they know that they don't get live events from the WWE a lot, they take advantage of it and they have fun. The entire stadium was sold out. That shows how much they really do love the product. That shows how much they really do appreciate them coming, even though they don't come a lot, and even though they absolutely insulted them the last time they were there about a few years back. But either or, they still appreciate the product and they show respect by literally buying tickets and selling them out. And that's the one thing that WWE need to understand. That what's best for business is what's doing best for the fans. That's how I see it. I don't know beans about business, but the one thing I do know is what's making you money and what's really paying your bills are the fans. Need to make them happy. And it sounds to me that they left home happy, which is a good thing. But sure, we had other matches in between. The Kofi Kingston match, don't care. But the saddest thing about it all is that you had an IC title match and didn't announce it. The announcers were dead silent. I don't even know what happened. But regardless of that, I'm really tired of seeing Curtis Axel holding the belt. Seriously. I'm tired of Curtis Axel holding the belt. He's just not doing anything with it, and he's really downgrading the title. I was hoping they were going to do something with him and Big E, but for some reason, he was with Ziggler tonight, and Big E was there. So I'm like, okay, why didn't you just go with Big E? I don't know. But the most irrelevant moment of the night for me was Paul Heyman. I'm not a big fan of Paul Heyman anymore because Paul Heyman just became a whiny old manager with absolutely no backbone at all. And his voice used to really mean something back in the day, but not anymore. The thing is that he got the ever-loving crap beat out of him in Hell in a Cell with a Singapore cane. I'm calling it a Singapore cane because that's what it is. It's a kendo stick, yes, but I call it a Singapore cane. I'm used to the old school. So he got the ever-loving crap beat out of him with a Singapore cane. And now he comes out to make why does he have his own why is it, seriously? Like, I know that Paul Heyman is trying to get some more heel heat, but honestly, Paul Heyman's feud with CM Punk is done. Just like the feud with Curtis Axel is done, as well as Ryback is done. And as for Ryback, going against, no, he ain't going against Alberto Del Rio, but as for Ryback, honestly, I'm kind of happy that Ryback is separated from Paul Heyman so he can finally go do his own thing. But I'm just getting tired of Paul Heyman. But Paul Heyman getting beaten up was a little bit satisfying. Kicked out of the ring because that shows that the feud is now dead. And it's not going to be coming back anytime soon. Thank you. Let's move on. But besides all the matches that happened and I didn't really care much about, especially with the whole Big E versus Alberto Del Rio match, the actual handicap matches were really good matches to watch. John Cena versus the Real Americans. Honestly, that wasn't a bad match. That was pretty darn good. But Alberto Del Rio's relevance in it was irrelevant. Nobody really cares much for Alberto Del Rio. He doesn't have any more flash. He doesn't have any more bling. He's not a aristocrat anymore. He's an actual Mexican luchador in a way. But honestly, I'm so bored with him. I can care less about his promos in the ring. I just want him just to wait until Survivor Series and just keep his mouth shut. That's just me personally. But that match with John Cena was good. But I want to know in the comment section below from all you folks, you wonderful folks from the UK that have watched my channel for as long as it's been on the air. I thank y'all so much for that. But I want to know, especially for those from the UK, Why do y'all hate John Cena? I know we hate John Cena, but it's always a mixed bag. The entire crowd booed him. Nobody liked John Cena in Manchester, and I'm curious, why do what is the reason for those that live in the UK? What is your reason why you hate John Cena? Leave a comment in the comment section below. I am curious to hear that, because nobody cheered for John Cena. Not one single soul. Everyone hated him. And I just want to know, what's in y'all's heads? Why do y'all hate John Cena? I know a handful of some of my British friends on why they don't like him. But I want to know why y'all don't like him. For those that are just now watching my channel, why do you not like John Cena? Leave a comment section below, guys. But let's move on to the main event. The main event of the night was probably one of the biggest teasers and the worst semi-letdowns I've ever seen. The match itself was really good. Of course, it's CM Punk and Daniel Bryan. They work really well together. And the Shield. And speaking of the Shield is now going rogue again. I mean, before you were corporate sellouts. Now all of a sudden you're rogue. I guess after, it makes sense after Triple H kind of threw him I guess he kind of like threw him to the wolves. You know, they're going to end up going rogue again. But either or, it was a pretty good match to actually watch. But the one biggest teaser that I really wanted to see was the Shield versus the Wyatt family. Two big giant factions going against each other at Survivor Series. I wanted that so bad. But we didn't get it. We ended up getting a huge, big, free-for-all brawl with two of the best factions in the PG era at this time versus all the mid-carders and CM Punk and Daniel Bryan. Just a complete war in the ring. It was awesome to watch. It was kind of disappointing, the fact that I didn't have a chance to literally have a feud between the Shield and the Wyatt family, but it did end well, and I really did enjoy myself. I'm not gonna lie. But guys, my overall thoughts of this is, I'm really happy. It was a pretty good show. I enjoyed myself a lot watching this show. Not only that, they're finally doing something with Survivor Series. They're actually starting to put matches on the card. They're starting to build up feuds a little bit. And that's what the whole purpose of this show is. It's to build up feuds for the biggest pay-per-view. This is the third biggest pay-per-view of the year, and they need to deliver. So honestly, I think they did a good job of building it up. That's my personal opinion of it. But honestly, guys, what are your thoughts of this Raw tonight? And how do you feel from those in the UK about John Cena? Leave a comment in the comment section below or send me a video response on how you feel about both subjects. It's Nature Girl 30 signing off. Peace out. Later.